2023 has already started. We've already had our first banner. So I wanted to talk about a lot of the characters that either released in 2022 or, even before, that you should be looking out in banners releasing this year. Characters that are still relevant and you might not have, that you might still want. And if you are a new player or a returning player, these are characters that they might remain relevant for a long time. And this is why I'm saying these are characters to watch out for in banners. And if you see them on a banner, it might sway you into pulling more than other characters should. So if a character is not on my list here, it doesn't mean they're bad. It just means I don't think that they are necessarily needed, or they're already in SSR tickets. And if a character is already in SSR tickets, it discredits a lot of the reason to summon them on regular banners, wasting gems when you can pull, Green Sauriel from the SSR tickets. I think a character like Green Sauriel or Green Chandler or Blue Kusok, not the festival one, they are good characters, but they are SSR ticket characters. Some aren't there yet, but will be. And just because of that, using your gems for them might not be all the best. So we're going by categories, and we're going to be taking a look at each individual category and talking about characters in there that are actually worth picking up. From the catastrophes, the only character I would say to watch out for is Easton. And Lilia. Lilia is still meta relevant somehow. She's so goddamn good. If catastrophes ever get good, ever, she will be the cornerstone of the catastrophes. She is what makes the team. She's just so goddamn good. So Lilia is still a character to watch out for, but Easton is not to be slapped on either. I don't think she is amazing. She's a character you don't see very often because no one summoned for her. She was okay at launch. There was no human to complement her. She's very specific, but she's not terrible. If you end up pulling her randomly on a catastrophe banner or a seasonal banner, she's a great pull and it's worth ranking up. But not necessarily, I'm gonna pull on this banner because she's in here. Just it elevates the banner, and she's seasonal, so she's rarer than a lot of these other characters, which is why I put her. Anyone else in here isn't anything to increase your reason to summon. Talking about the commandments, I will brush over. Miller is not here. It's not commandment. Esteros is still a character that I think will remain relevant for a long time. He's just a super powerful festival in general. The way he works with the demons, he is a support and a DPS as well at the same time, which is great because in the current meta, you can't just be a support. If you're just a support, you're not doing enough. No meta relevant character is just a support. You see, Diane is still meta relevant, but she's not just a support. She can do damage. She can wipe a whole team with an ultimate. So, characters like Esteros will remain relevant for a long time as long as demons are relevant. And he is, just like Lilia, the character that allows demons to be meta to begin with. And eventually he's going to get a good relic, hopefully. So Esteros is a festival to be looking out for. And in terms of the rest of the commandments, there's no one else. Commandments have been neglected for a long time. You can see Zeldris is not here. The seasonal one, I'll talk about him later once we get to him. Collab characters. Obviously, collab characters are in a different scale to normal characters because they are so goddamn exclusive. But collabs we should be looking out for if we get them in 2023, because in 2022, we got a lot of returning collabs. ReZero return, Slime return. KOF did not return, which I was very surprised. I was really expecting KOF to return, but Slime was a big one, right? Rimuru is still good. I wouldn't say he is insane like he used to be, but chances are when he comes back, you're probably going to be wanting to summon for Slime anyways. So if you end up pulling him when he comes back, that's a big one. And then for ReZero is huge. Akina is still fantastic. He has kind of fallen off, but I think if we get better red humans, he can shoot up again. It's just a question of, can he be what Ban was, which Ban became a support character for Reinhardt? Can Reinhardt become a support character for a better unit moving on? Who knows? But I think in the future he might become meta relevant again because he's pretty powerful. And then for ReZero, Philo's ReZero, right? No, Philo is Shield Hero. Now for me is very strong. He does appear from time to time at the top of the meta. Right now demons are so prevalent that the Ascanor now for me team kind of fell off. But if he comes back, there's a chance he's probably going to be good again. Philo, same thing, she's really good, but I think she is in a class of character that she depends entirely on how much damage she does. Kind of like, think of the one Escanor, the blue one. He fell off because his damage just wasn't enough, and she eventually will fall off because her damage will not be enough either. There's another character here I think is like necessary. So I think those characters are, if the collab returns and you don't like the new characters somehow, then those characters should pull you in. I think Kyo is still a good character. He has his quirks, but, you know, KOF is a banner that's probably going to be so bloated that it will be kind of also pretty hard to recommend. Hopefully they'll do something about it if they ever return KOF or ReZero. Ragnarok. Ragnarok is very simple. Tonar, Jormungandr, and Megalda. All three of these are the same character. They function to allow you to beat their designated demonic beast, right? And you pull one copy of them, and that's enough. You don't need to pull any dupes for these characters, so they're very valuable. Just having one copy. All three of these characters are must-haves, especially Tonar, because dogs are the hardest, but doesn't mean that Jormungandr is any worse. Like, Deer without Jormungandr is actual torture. It really is. So these three characters. Freyr is still a great character. Eventually, hopefully, we get a great relic as well, which will make him like even better. So he's a character you should be watching out for. I think Skadi is still a great character. I use her a lot on dogs, but a lot of people don't like how risky it is to use her, so Freyr is much more safe. No one else really. Brynhildr is a great character still, but she was just given out for free. If you missed out on her free like dupe, I don't know what you were doing, but she's very old. She's kind of falling off. But she's still good. Kind of falling off, but still good. No one else really. This character fell off, the red Brynhildr. Eventually, maybe Ragnarok returns, but we don't know, so I can't really recommend. Archangel is the only character I really think anyone should be looking out for is still Tarmiao. I know I just said SSR ticket characters should not be as, you know, focused on, but Red Tarmiao is just different. Red Tarmiao is the most relevant character in the game. Not even exaggerating, he is. You're using him on every single team in the game. PvP, PvE does not matter. And you want to have him 6-6. So until you have him 6-6, he does bring relevancy to any banner he's in. But keep in mind, he is in SSR tickets, so don't go ham if you see him on the banner. Just if you pull one copy, one dupe, that's great. Hopefully you pull more SSR tickets, but he's just too relevant for me to not say Red Tarmiao. No one else here is really all that. I think Ludociel is like a fun character still, but for a lot of players, you know, is it really worth building Ludociel at this time? Maybe not. SR ticket. Margaret's falling off, so not really the greatest. And now the Sins. The only two characters I really think will remain relevant here, or sorry, three characters. Obviously, Purgatory Milius, I think he's going to be like a Trigger Milius type of scenario where you want to have him forever. Trigger Meli is still a fantastic character, so I guess he's still a character to be watching out for, but Purgatory Meli is just different. He's just a beast. Right now, I think he might actually be the best PvP character in the game. Then Escanor is the best overall character in the game. There's no discussion, and you want dupes for him, opposed to like Meli. Meli can, you know, can be good with like 2, 3, 6. Escanor, you want a 6-6. So, go ham on any Escanor banner. It's just not even a question. Summer Merlin. You know, it's forever relevant, I guess. Ataxio. Until a good cleansing character comes out, Summer Merlin will be forever relevant. And that's the thing. Meli's a good cleansing character, but the way his cleanse works gets cocked by Merlin, so it is what it is. Some other Sins, I guess Diane is still very good. And she eventually will get a relic, which will make her better. She is coming into a year old. I don't know how long they are like waiting to release these relics, but you know, she could be closing in on a new relic. I could say like Festival Merlin is good, but if you don't have Akina already and you don't have Philo, she's really just paperweight on your box, really. So I can't really recommend if you don't already have those characters. And stuff like that. I was gonna say, actually, okay, so I only said the two Sins because I was gonna separate festivals and seasonals, but since we're just on the Sins, Summer DM. You only need one dupe, but she makes farming original demons so much faster that it's worth pulling for her whenever she comes back. It's a case where like when she came out, it was like, okay, is it worth 600 gems? But if you randomly pull her on a banner that might also have Summer Merlin, hey, that's a good pull. So stuff like that. This character is useful, not needed, but useful. And that's about it. You can see how many terrible sins we have. They're the main characters. They should all be good. Yeah, it'd be like that. I mean, Troy the Malley is still fantastic, right? I can't really take it away from him. It's just PvP-wise, he's worse. There's only one reason why you'd want to use Troy the Malley over the other Malley, and it is like, okay, the Amplify might be good for this. And that's about it. So, until he gets a Relic, which, hey, he is over a year old, so maybe this year we can get a Relic for Troy the Malley. Who knows? Who knows? Festival King could be closing in a Holy Relic. I mean, yeah, these characters are becoming less and less usable. Should get relics. So, that's about it. So, let's actually swap to this. So, demons, Zeldris. I mean, he, again, the demons are the current most relevant team in the game. Zeldris is one of the greats. And, you know, if you have Festival Zeldris, he is still a good option over the seasonal Zeldris, but not as good. He's good, but not as good. So if you want to be just optimal, this Zeldris is just in fact better. The attack lower, unrestricted, and the attack-related stat increase to your team is just slightly better. Plus, he's also missing a relic, so eventually he could get one, which will make him even better. Fingers crossed. Demons-wise, again, like I said, Chandler, he's decent, but SSR ticket. Kusok, decent, but SSR ticket. Can't really recommend when you can just pull those characters randomly like that. A lot of characters are closing on relics. I think, man, a relic for this guy would be crazy if he's good. But can't recommend chasing dupes or anything because we just don't know. And that's about it for demons. I'm just going to go over, we already talked about any of the giants that might be relevant. There's no one here that I haven't talked about that is currently like a must pull / relevant. Fairies. Fairies need help, man. Look at it. Look at this selection. It's like Festival King was so goddamn good when he came out. Hopefully a relic will make him better. We need a gold armor Glocks or something, and it would be actually pretty crazy. I think people would like that. And I think that's about it. I mean, this character is good to have, but I don't think it's like a decision maker, right? I don't think just seeing her on the banner makes you summon type thing. Good to have, but not necessary. And I think that's about it. There's a lot of characters, again, that I didn't mention that are good, but like a character like Halloween Galfer is kind of on the trend off, and you see him on a lot more banners. If you end up pulling him randomly and you don't have him, even though they gave him for free, that's great. But not like, okay, he's going to completely change your account anymore. Still great, just not a character that really does that for you. Similar to like Matronem. She was given out for free, and if you missed out on that, that's unfortunate. Where is she? But right now, these days, right, she's good for Bird. That's about it. And Bird is destroyed by a lot of new things. Like Ascular absolutely obliterates Bird, the new Meliodas, stuff like that. If you pull her, that's great. But there's no rush. Other characters have released that are so good that it made the activity that she's good for kind of easy. So that's about it. If you have any characters you're personally chasing that I haven't talked about that you think should have been here, let me know. But I think this is a good list because you can see a lot of characters in this game. We have a lot of characters, right? But they're not really relevant. That's unfortunate. But, you know, what can I do?